Welcome to another Monday of
No One Gets Away with Anything.
Today with you we are
Jose Rafael Ochoa and
Ariana Lopez.
Yes.
So nice.
We're back.
We have an amazing topic for this episode
Yes.
and I'm very excited about it.
We're going to solve our own psychological
Exacto, esos son los
programs.
episodios que más me gustan. Entonces, hoy vamos a hablar de
Responsabilidades?
no correspondidas.
No
Chan, chan, chan.
correspondidas.
Sounds like so professional and stuff.
When it's actually like crippling anxiety and depression. Yeah.
But no, we're not that bad. Ay, susto. Ajá. I thought I was spitting the water on top of my laptop. It's fine. Okay, look. So, basically, Jose and I, as usual, having conversations, we realize that often we tend to take on responsibilities that
Are
don't really take us
unnecessary.
anywhere. Exactly. And we came to talk about this because we're both in a like stage of our lives where we decided to let go of things.
Yeah.
Que es un poco cosa de abuelos, debo decir. Yo me siento un poco perdedora a veces cuando... sí, lo debo admitir.
But you're funny today.
No sé.
Estoy un poco perdedora al
Me siento un
respecto.
poco perdedora porque
Yo
digo,
me siento
tipo,
full adulto responsable. Tipo, I have a 401k and I'm
Pero-
like preparing for my pension.
ajá. No, pero a mí es como que, bro, eres una carajita que no tiene responsabilidades y además estás dejando de hacer vainas porque you need space in your mind to put other stuff, like figuring out what you want in life.
Yeah, I understand. But I mean, when we're talking about this, it was like, it comes from somewhere. There's this running joke between Ariana and I that we are overachievers.
Sí. I don't know if it's a joke. I really don't think it's that funny. Why are you laughing so
It's
much?
more of a reality.
It's more of a, like, yeah. It's more of like a curse, if you ask me. As I said, the golden children curse, which I completely agree with.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before. If it's the first time you see us, basically what does that mean?
Well, the point is that we are the children that meet expectations, or at least we were when we were growing up. We were the kind of persons that were in football and then like AP courses, and then like we were also in like MUN, and then we also partied, had a social life, and
we're cute.
we had a skincare routine or something.
And we managed to do everything, and everyone was like telling their own kids, like, look at her, why don't you do what she does?
Yeah, and we're like, how are you surviving? Like that would be a normal question.
And you'd be like, no, I'm fine.
I'm good.
I'm chilling.
Yeah, that's when you were 16 and you had stamina.
You leave high school and you're like, what the fuck am I doing with my life, dude?
Like, have you ever had that? This class is 2 hours long. I can no longer pay attention for
Sí,
that
sí,
long.
sí.
Yeah.
Pero demasiado a menudo. Ahorita me pasa que es como que, bro, I believe that lectures are useless. Not all of them, but definitely having 20 hours of classes a week does not mean that you're having 20 hours of knowledge. It means that you're having 5 hours of knowledge and then the rest is just you trying to wait until your class is over.
Yeah, I try to make that time as productive as I possibly can.
Same.
But I'm a very educated person, and most of the things that I have to do, I have to listen to something. So one way that I make my time productive is that when I'm in public transport, I try to listen to something
Same.
that I tried to listen to something that I want to listen to.
Exacto.
So, okay, so before I go into this, because this is what we're trying to do. So I feel responsible, and so do you, for using our times in productive ways. Okay, so like if I am on a Thursday afternoon, you know, on my bed before 6 p.m. doing nothing, something is horribly wrong. Okay, and we consider that to be like, why are you doing that? Like, you should be doing something.
Pero yo te lo juro, cuando yo estoy en mi cama digo, hay gente en Nueva York que está working their asses off and they're having a super successful career and you're here not even knowing what the fuck you want to do with your life. You're a loser. Literal.
Tipo, tu cerebro.
That's the speech.
Tipo, tú tocas la cama y suena eso. Que,
Sí,
no.
literal. Es que, bro, por ejemplo, tipo, like, last weekend, I was with, like, a friend of my boyfriend. Tipo, she's a model for, like, Louis Vuitton. It's, like, Hermes. She walked in Paris Fashion Week. Like, she's an actual model. She's studying neuroscience in Colombia. And she she works. She goes back and forth. She does this, like, super complicated scientific career. She has a boyfriend long distance. She models for super expensive brands. And I'm like, what am I doing with my life? O sea, además, she's super nice. She is fucking nice. And I'm like,
How
what
dare
is
you?
wrong with you?
How dare you
She's
exist?
like, she's amazing. And it's like, she worked super hard to get there and she knew what she wanted. And I just feel like perhaps we spend so much time doing bullshit stuff that we never actually sat down and said, like, what do I want? You know what I mean? I feel like now that's something I ask myself often, like, and I'm letting go of responsibilities because I just feel like my brain does not have the time to discover what do I like.
I agree.
Wow.
I think that I know what I like, for example.
Fair enough.
So in
But
my
what do you
case,
want to do with your life?
I want to do diplomacy and podcasting.
Wow.
I like podcasting.
A mí también me gusta full podcasting.
Yeah, but I mean, let me put it this way. The same way that girl wanted to model, I've wanted podcasting. I just didn't know it was podcasting until I started listening to podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
But since I've been in like my third year of high school, I've wanted to do this because I know that I'm good at public speaking. I know that I'm good at communicating myself, and I have all these ideas and I have to put them somewhere. So I've known for a long time that I wanted to do this, and I'm making that happen. Diplomacy is a bit less clear. So I know that I want to do international relations. I've known that for a while.
Just not how.
Not where I want to specialize.
Okay.
Because diplomacy is so fucking... No. The other way around. Well, yeah, you have to pass through a bottleneck. But after you go through the bottleneck, it does like this. Okay? So you have to, I don't know, get into the diplomatic service or pass your exam or do the right internships or whatever. You need to get your shot. But after you get your shot, you need to know where you want to go. That's the difficult part.
I can't, going to that, I just have this idea in my mind. I want to bring it up.
Okay.
Toda esta gente, ¿verdad? All these people, right? Especially in my university, I don't know how it works for you, right? Everyone is speaking about the internship they're going to do this summer, the job that they got, the program that they enrolled to, the email that they got, the like all this, the summer program that they're doing and the seminar and the extra course because they have to have the right internship for when they finish. Y yo tipo, bro, I don't have the mental space to deal with that right now. Y I need to accept it. O sea, yo ahorita presentar una pasantía para este verano no es lo que necesito.
And you don't need to.
Pero that's super hard for me to understand. Tipo, a mi cabeza es como que, ¿qué carajo vas a hacer 3 meses si no vas a hacer una pasantía? Tipo, you're going to waste your time like that because there's going to be people doing your internship and then they're going to get the job and what the fuck are you going to get? And I was like, also, but I'm going to get the mental stability that they're not going to have. Like, yeah, but they're going to have the work.
Well, one of the things that happens when you're doing this, las responsabilidades no correspondidas es un tema de ¿a quién te estás comparando?
Sí.
Okay, because there's that. And for me, at least, it always used to be like I would compare myself to the people that I saw that I was admired. One of the best things that ever happened to me in my life is Jordan Peterson, and you know this if you've ever listened to the podcast. Don't compare yourself to who somebody else is today. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Because yesterday you were useless, and now you're not. And you prove yourself wrong every day, but you don't like to look at that. Well, the internships things, for me, for example, I know that I need to do internships this summer because I work during the year. I work so that I have enough money to go out with my friends, save some money, and, spoil my girlfriend if I can, you know? And those are the kinds of things that I can't do if I'm doing an internship because internships pay very badly or don't pay at all. So I realized, look, the only option that I have is to do a summer internship or do an internship after I graduate. And I really don't want to do that. Like, I probably will do an internship after I graduate, but I want to do one before because that means that my degree has more value because I graduated with a curricular internship. Okay. That's at least how it works in my university. And so I realized that the only way that I was going to be able to make that work without, I don't know, having a rough couple of months without a job was having a summer internship. And you know what? It's 3 months and I'm busting my ass trying to find one. Okay. It's not easy to find them either. So, but that's my reality. And that's something that I've struggled with. My girlfriend is in her 3rd year of her career and she had her internship before I'm ever going to start mine. And she already finished it. And it's like different careers have different ways of doing that. And I think that one of the things that happens for us, especially the overachieving part of us, is like, oh no, you're falling behind. And it's like, wait, are you? Like, how many people in your class have the kind of relationship that you have with your boyfriend?
Muy pocas.
How many of the people in your class have a podcast?
None.
How many of the people in your class have the public speaking abilities that you have, or write the way that you can write, or work like you work? Circumstances change things a lot. And I think that I'm watching an anime right now called Haiku. If you haven't watched that anime, it's a volleyball anime. It's really cool. And it talks about, a lot of about sports is very psychological. And at some point it says like, look, volleyball is a sport where you can't grab the ball. Okay. Because you can't grab the ball, you can't stop. It's very difficult to have a breathe, like have a breath, like, oh my God, you can't, because the ball is constantly in the air and you can only touch it. And it says like one of the best things that a player can learn to do is to, get the ball as high as possible, so that the time that the ball is in the air, you have to breathe. The same thing happens with your life. If you're doing a bunch of things, if you're doing everything, you need those little moments where the ball's in the air long enough that you can breathe. For me, that's the metro right now. Like I have 3 hours a day in the metro because it takes 45 minutes to get to university, 45 minutes to come back, 45 minutes to work, and 45 minutes to come back. It's an hour and a half in the morning, an hour and a half in the afternoon or at night. It's 3 hours a day in the metro. And I use those 3 hours. I read a book if I want to, but the responsibility part is like, I don't feel the only responsibility that I have is for me. That's it.
Okay.
I'm responsible for me, for making myself feel both good and healthy.
Not guilty.
And so my point this past couple of weeks has been, we talked about this. So I have my book bag. My book bag is my emergency survival kit. It has, because you and I have the same problem. We sleep in our boyfriend's or girlfriend's house randomly, so sometimes you have like underwear or a shirt or something in your bag,
like shampoo and
exactly. What I started doing was like, you know what? I'm no longer going to be carrying everything in my bag, and I literally took everything out of my bag and then only put in the things that I needed. I always carry like 5 of these books in my book bag because I'm like, oh, what if I need to read something? And it's like, you don't need to read shit. You can get home and then you can fucking read the book. And I can't. It stressed me out. I was like, I can't do it. I have to have them in my book bag. And I was like, wait, you have a Kindle. You're reading a book in the Kindle right now.
Why do you need
another book in my... I don't need it.
Tienes toda la razón. Es que además es demasiado ilustrativo ese ejemplo. Es literalmente como que aligerar la carga. Porque lo que pasa es que para nosotros el peso de la carga y the measure of success were proportional.
Exactly.
The heavier the load, like the more things we had on our table, the more productive and the more successful we were. Y that's a super toxic measure, pero en ese momento funcionaba. I think once
when you're 16 it works.
See, exactly. But once you're here and you I don't know. I think we just need time to think. Or just not think. I don't know. O ponerle amor a las cosas que estamos haciendo.
It's time for yourself. It's because the thing is that when you have so much responsibility that's being given to other things, when you're investing all of your energy into, for example, una de las cosas que yo hice en estos días fue que yo soy el delegado de mi clase, okay, pero yo estudio una carrera bilingüe, okay? Entonces hay la opción de ser delegado del curso bilingüe, okay? Which means that I would be in charge of all the English classes, okay? Porque todas las clases en castellano las compartimos con el grupo de castellano.
Okay.
Nobody in the Spanish group postulated themselves to be the delegate. And so for the past 4 months, I've been taking all that responsibility. The other week, I went to university and I said, look, either you choose a delegate or you won't have one, because I will take care of my English classes and I will be diligent with that. It's 2 teachers that I have to talk to, 3, but 2 teachers That's essentially true. That I have to talk to. And one of them is pretty problematic in the way that I have to give him information. He's a teacher that comes from outside, so he doesn't know how the university works. And I'm holding his hand in a lot of things, and that's totally okay, because that's my job as the English delegate. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to do that for every single student, Erasmus student and teacher in the entire degree. I can't do that. Mm-hmm. That's not within my reach. And I basically said, solve this problem, I won't. And they did. Mm-hmm. And the university still works, even though I'm not taking care of that part.
Sí.
And nothing fell apart. And I have felt more calm than I have been for a while. And it's been so much better. in my personal life, I have my little sister, and I love my little sister, but I oftentimes feel responsible for her in some ways, for the way, because mi psicóloga dice, el que no llora no mama. Mi hermanita quiere pasar más tiempo conmigo. Y es como que I'm the one who's supposed to say, look, you can ask me for time with me, and I will give you as much time as I want to give you, as much time as I feel like it is okay for me to give you. But I have a responsibility for me, to myself, to spend time alone, to sit down in my bed, look at the ceiling, to learn a new song on the guitar, to just sit down with myself and write down about my feelings, or go to therapy, or whatever. And I think that those are things that we generally just aren't doing anymore.
Sí.
And I think we don't allow ourselves to do it. And you miss that the most important responsibility in your life
Stop.
is for you.
I was having this conversation with my mom yesterday.
Really?
Literal. Everything como...
Yeah.
It's a full circle. Because I had a conversation with, in my relationship and stuff. I said something that came off super wrong. I was just my personal problems are interfering with my relationship. And I put the burden on the other side. And I noticed it, so I went to apologize. And it was like,
congratulations.
Look, yeah, but the thing is, he was like, look, thank you, you apologize, but it's not the first time this happens. It's a pattern that you say something wrong because you have it bottled up. It comes out super bad. I feel bad. I get annoyed because I feel like whatever I do, it's not enough. And then I'm in a good position and you come and just want to put me down, and I get the apology, but it's not working if it's going to happen over and over again.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, and my mom was like, the thing is, you need to first look after yourself, because whenever he is not there, you have the same issue.
Yeah.
And the thing is, your priority has to be you. So when your priority is you and you're fine with that you can be yourself and that you don't you can, the thing is que tiene que ver con lo que estamos hablando antes, tipo the other episode. It's you can be reliant on him, but you don't have to depend entirely on somebody else for you to be happy. And for me, bueno, es que me voy a extender mucho.
Don't worry.
Idea. This thing is we have, you have two people with very different personalities, right? On the one hand, you have a person that's very aware of their own needs, and that if they need time alone, they're going to ask for it. If they have very clear projects, they have very clear management of their time and whatever they want to do. And on the other hand, this person is going to be able to say, look, I have this, I'm sorry, I can't, without having to ask for permission. On the other hand, you have a person that would not do anything that's going to interrupt their routine before consulting it with X person. So it's conflicting, because la persona que depende mucho de la otra, como que when he tells me, look, I'm doing this without having asked me or said anything first, it puts me off. En cambio, yo dejo de hacer cosas porque digo, no, tipo, it just interferes with my routine. Sin ni siquiera preguntar.
Or I do this a lot where I'm like, I think if I do this, it will upset her. So
Exacto.
I won't do that.
Literal, es que es esa vaina. Because it's happened before that he gets upset. So there was one time, it's just it's going to be a pattern.
Yeah, and you become aware and you're empathetic enough to be even though I like doing this, I care about her feelings or his feelings enough to just not do it.
Exacto.
And that's not good.
Ajá. Bueno, y aquí estamos llegando a lo que queríamos llegar. Es como que para mí es problemático que yo he dejado de hacer cosas porque no quiero interferir con eso y no quiero hacerlo molestar o lo que sea, cuando él no hace lo mismo, pero lo que él está haciendo es lo saludable. O sea, es como que having his life and being like, look, today I can't, I have this, I'm sorry, but we have a stable relationship. Today I can't, tomorrow I will. O sea, es tipo...
And you know that if it's really important and if you really need him, he's there.
Exacto. Pero a mí me cuesta muchísimo decir, mira, hoy, tipo, este fin de semana, no. Verga.
Very difficult.
Super.
Look, I've been talking about this with my psychologist a lot, okay? And one of the things that we talked about is look, the thing is, she said this, like, I was bringing up exactly this. Like, I posed exactly the same question you're posing. Like, why do I feel bad when I cancel something because I know it'll upset my girlfriend or boyfriend, etc.? Like, why does that happen? And and she asked me a random question. I said, like, wait, this also happens to me in this context. And he says, oh, which one? And I said, like, well, whenever I'm, I don't know, doing something in university and I know that the teacher's going to propose something that's going to upset one of my classmates, I get worried and I try to fix it before it's even a problem. Or, when I'm in my house and I cook something, I try to clean it as fast as I possibly can because I know if I don't clean it quick, my dad's going to get angry. And it's like, is he?
Sí.
Is he going to get angry, or am I expecting him to get angry because he did it once?
Sí.
And it's like, the thing is that the common denominator here isn't them, it's you. Sí. You are the person who is reacting or pre-reacting, like knee-jerk reactions to random things that happen in your life. And it's like, okay, that obeys a particular part of you. So there's probably a little Ariana who's like 6 years old who had some bad thing happen to her that marked her life. I realized it was bullying for me. Mm-hmm. So I realized that when I was a little kid, I was bullied and there was nobody that would stand up for me at that time. And like, I realized that I started taking care of the people in my life the way that I wish that I had been taken care of when I was a little kid. And I, not only the people that I love, but like everyone. And so I have this extreme empathy where I'm like always watching out for the necessities of other people instead of my own, because I feel like if other people are okay,
I'm going to be okay.
I'm going to be okay. Exactly. And I've had to make this conscious effort of saying like, wait, this, not only is this not my problem, I'm not going to let this affect me. And it's not easy. Like, that's why I took the stuff out of my book bag. It's a physical manifestation of me breaking an emotional cycle. Sí. It's a stop. You're basically, imagine that it's one of those, do you remember the toy fans? They were like, sí. And if you put your finger in it, it would like, I'm doing that emotionally to myself. And so, for example, this Sunday is Father's Day. And it was like, look, it's Father's Day. I have something to do that day with Ayana. And it's awesome. And I've been, it's in my calendar for a long time. I have Father's Day. And I told my girlfriend, look, you tell me if you want to come to Father's Day. If you want to be in Father's Day with us, you're welcome to be there. If you don't want to be there, you're not. And I told my dad, hey, we have Father's Day, right? And I said, yeah, what are we going to do? And he said, well, we're going to go to this restaurant. We're going to do this, this, and that. I said, awesome. And I told him, if you want it to be only us, you tell me. Mm-hmm. But I didn't say like, oh no, you can't come because I have to ask my dad before if he wants. No, it was like, hey, you tell me, and we'll see. Mm-hmm. And under my skin, I'm kind of anxious and worried about it, but I'm making the conscious effort to not let it bother the crap out of me. Okay.
Bueno, sí. Yo tengo una amiga genial, que ella también, tipo, she also has a boyfriend now, and we're like each other's ears when we need it.
Yeah, you're each other's rocks.
Sí. And she just been having a lot of discussions lately. Not necessarily wrong, but like just discussions. And he's like, look, something I learned, this approach is like, you can decide not to be affected by things.
Absolutely.
Something can go wrong and you can have the maturity to let the other person process it if they need it. But that does not mean that in the meantime, you cannot live your life because you're worried about the other person being sad or angry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have I've had the curious experience of also seeing, for example, my little sister, very young, etc., beating herself up, thinking that people are thinking about her.
Sí.
Okay.
Eso es muy heavy, brother.
Yeah, but in general, o sea, nos puede pasar.
Nosotros lo hacemos.
Tipo,
I do it all the time.
Yeah, estás en la universidad y la gente se empieza a reír atrás tuyo y tú dices, verga, se están riendo de mí. It's like, bro, no, they're not laughing at you, but you feel like they are. And it's an emotional response that you're having. And I have that all the time. Tipo, si llego a mi casa y mi papá está triste y digo, verga, será que está triste por mi culpa. O veo a mi novia, ese tipo de cosas, they happen. Pero es making that conscious effort to realize that you're not people don't think about you that much, first of all. And even the people that think about you that much, boyfriend and girlfriend, for example,
can have other problems that are not you.
Bro, my girlfriend has the same problem. And sometimes I'm like, I'm upset. You know, I was sitting in my bed, I'm kind of angry. Like 90% of the time, it's that I have an assignment to hand in and I haven't found the motivation to write it. Or I was watching an anime and the main character's doing something stupid and I feel angry about that. And it's like 90% of the time, I'm thinking like in my head, it's like, well, my girlfriend, this is so funny. My girlfriend started saying bombastic side eye all the time. I don't know why, but now whenever I space out, the only thing I can think about is bombastic side eye. Bombastic side eye. I don't know why. It's just stuck in my brain. And my girlfriend, last night we were talking on the phone and she was like, "Are you okay? You seem quiet." And I was like, "I'm going to literally say what's on my mind. Bombastic." It was so funny because that's so true and it happens all the time. But we are so hyper aware that we can't stop. And one thing is that, and I think that the thing that we can't get away with is that we can't get away with not understanding what that little kid inside of you that got hurt at some point needs. And there's something that you need. There's something that you can do. There's some responsibility in yourself that you can take care of that will make all of this calm down. And it's something. It's like you're missing one ingredient in this the recipe of whatever you're cooking in your life, and it's this hole that was left behind by that experience. And that little kid is screaming for you to do something, and you just really don't even speak that language anymore. Okay, so it's very difficult. That's literally the reason that I go to therapy right now. At least that's my biggest problem in therapy right now. There's a bunch of books written about this, the inner child and everything, and I think that's it's pretty interesting, and we can cover this in another episode when we feel a little bit more and we can, talk about this. But yeah, I think that that's what we need to do, both of us, which is funny that we're in the same psychological
Es que me da
train.
muchísima risa que me dijiste lo mismo que yo estoy haciendo. Me dijiste tipo, I'm letting go of responsibilities, y yo genuinamente estoy en esta etapa exactamente mía que dije, bro, necesito dejar de hacer tantas vainas. Pues tipo, I need to stop and spend time with myself.
Yeah.
Pero bueno, that's exactly why
No one
gets away with anything.
Remember, thank you very much for listening. We'll see you next week. Remember, we are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Substack, and YouTube. And no one gets away with anything, guys. We'll see you again next week. Bye. Fuck yes. Okay, let's speak up quickly.